Happy Saturnalia, everyone. It's just an update video. It's been probably a couple of years, actually, since I've done the last update video for this channel. In fact, I've been kind of negligent this year. I've taken a lot of breaks in between and just had a lot of irregular uploads, and I feel that's largely due to the series that I've been doing. They're just not really conducive to the daily upload schedule. But anyway, before we talk about that and the state of the channel and all, I guess the big news is that I have bought myself a new computer. The last computer that I bought and put together was like 9 years ago, I think, is when I made those videos. So you know, it was due for a change. And in fact, I hadn't intended to. Couldn't really afford it this year, but I did anyway, just because, the computer was starting to chunk and show signs that maybe I should be looking for new alternatives and upgrading just a little bit. I think that that's probably going to be good for the channel going forward and give me a little more options for some of the series. But I guess I'll just quickly go through what I've got now. So I put everything together around the graphics card, as you do. So I've got an ASRock Challenger Radeon RX 9070 XT graphics card, a bit higher than I was initially aiming for. I was originally looking at like a 5070 and not going into the 90 series, but surprisingly, it was actually cheaper. I still, I guess, was in the mentality. It's been a while since I've looked at computer components, and so I was still of the mentality that the GPUs are astronomically priced, and that's no longer the case. Thankfully, now it's just the RAM. So I actually got a good deal with that. In fact, it came with a discount. I ordered most of this off of Newegg and Amazon. Then I put that on an MSI MAG B850 Tomahawk Max Wi-Fi AM5 board paired with an AMD Ryzen 9 7900X, which is also more of a processor than I was originally looking for, but it was, again, better priced. And I believe it was the CPU that also came bundled with the cooler, which is an MSI MAG Coreliquid A13 240. It was not my intention to go liquid cooling either, but it's a $90 cooler that came for free, so whatever. Probably better than just the regular cooler that I was going to get. It is white, however, so it doesn't match anything, but hey, it's free, so I can't complain about that. It is sadly loud. Computer is much louder than I was expecting, and that's probably due to the case and the amount of fans in it, but you can definitely hear the little pump on the liquid cooler. And then I did actually get RAM before the prices went too crazy. It's still double from what it was last year when I put a list together last year. But I've got G.SKILL Trident Z5 Neo series and just an ASRock Steel Legend SL850G power source. And most of those components came bundled. I actually bought these, or ordered, well, yeah, I bought them before Black Friday, because I was anticipating that, Black Friday, there was going to be more of a shortage and all that stuff, probably, as everyone's buying stuff. But there was actually good deals ahead of time, and the prices never went down for Black Friday, so, there's that. And then I've also got just a Samsung 990 Pro SSD, 1 terabyte. I have more than enough drives that have been migrating, so I've got plenty of storage. That's actually been a real pain, mostly because of the case. A MUSETEX ATX PC Case pre-installed with 6 fans, RGB fans, which I was on the fence about that. I don't really care about the fish tank, showing off my computer. I don't care about the lighting. It's actually more annoying. But what I did learn was that I could actually connect them to the CPU temperature. And so it's actually just a nice little visual indicator when it's running too hot. It's actually kind of neat, but I always have the option of turning them off. That case, however, I mostly got it because it was a good price on Amazon, and had the pre-installed fans with it, and so whatever. Actually cheaper than the one I was looking for initially. But it is a stubbier tower, because I guess towers now don't have slots a lot of slots or easy access for slots for hard drives because those are ancient now. Nobody uses hard drives. And that became probably the biggest problem with this. This computer build, I only just finished it a few days ago. And so if you follow the timeline for Black Friday, it's been like a 3-week build. And it's just because what I thought was going to be a weekend project has overlapped with the things I have to do in normal life, and so it's just taken forever. And it's been the worst experience building this thing. I think a large part of it is because of the case being smaller and more cramped. It's been a real pain in the butt connecting cables and just getting everything, to look good, and I really just don't know what they were thinking. Like, it's the cosmetic case problem where they want you to look at it and have everything be nice and not spaghetti cables. But there's a bottom on it that is covered so that you don't see the inner workings. But unlike my other case where it's all open, that prevents you from gaining access to a lot of the components underneath. I do like the fact that the hard drives and the SSDs are hidden. That's a cool little thing, but I could have done without the shroud covering it because, oh God, it was annoying. It honestly really put me off. I think that's another reason why it took so long, is just because of the initial excitement just disappearing and dreading having to actually try and plug things in. That, coupled with the mass migration, as I previously just said, of my drives, or rather the data on them. Of course, just in time for me to be doing this, one of my backup drives, well, my major backup drive, the main one, decided that it didn't want to transfer files, just whatever files, and it was just whatever files, because it transferred, like, I don't know, 98% or whatever. It was those 2% though where it would hang, and then it would just freeze. And once I got the blue screen of death, so I had to go through, rather than as I normally do, just grab a folder and copy it to another drive and all that crap. I had to go through individually and grab every goddamn thing to make sure that this one is good, this one's not going to crash. It took forever. That was actually the majority of the time. I spent just a week transferring files and backing things up onto new drives, and it's been a journey, but it's ready to go now, and it should last me for another decade, much like my other computer. My other computer's still good. I mean, it still handles everything that I play just fine. It's just, it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. But anyway, this whole thing actually was very reasonable comparatively to the computer that I built 9 years ago. I mean, the price is not that much more, and the list that I made a year ago, this new one actually turned out cheaper, even with the upgraded components. So go figure that. But anyway, I'm happy with it, and like I said, what it means is that I should be able to play some of the newer games that have come out, like Anno Pax Romana. And I bring that up specifically because it is a city builder game. And I guess swapping back over to talking about the channel. I mean, I guess announcing taking a break from the channel is kind of moot at this point, since I've been taking impromptu breaks this entire year. But I guess what I want to say then instead is that I'm planning to do less regular series. Well, I mean, I guess to come down to it, nobody is watching anything except city builders on this channel. And it's been that way for a few years, but I mean, looking at my analytics right now, the top 10 videos for the entire year are city builders. Theotown, SimCity 4, Emperor, Theotown and SimCities again, and then The Settlers 6. And like consistently, I would say 8 of those 10 have been the same series, month after month after month. Which ultimately means that despite the fact that I've been taking some breaks here and there and not uploading every day as I usually have, my views have stayed reasonably consistent. Actually, they've gone down a little bit more just in the past month or whenever I started doing the Mekarashi and stuff again. And that's why I want to return to just like the one-trick pony this channel has become, because nobody watches anything else. And I don't blame you for that. I've got a lot of shit on this channel, and it's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's worth my time to do the variety here anymore, even though I do have a few quick and short series. But basically, I don't intend to do the multiple series thing anymore. I do that mostly because I want to have, like, the one game I'm playing and then have something that people are going to watch. But then, like, I can't, I don't do this for a living, so I can't give the time to focus on more than one series. I was kind of getting there with Space Colony. I had originally had some momentum with that. I had recorded a bunch of episodes, but as that series went on, it just took more and more time to dedicate and research how to play each mission and do it optimally, so I don't have to fail and re-record it, because that makes it impossible. I do want to finish it though, or at least the one branch, the main branch. I don't think I'll do everything in the game like I'd originally done or intended to do. I'll do like the economic branch, and then maybe every now and then I'll flip back into the military branch and just finish off the main campaign stuff, and then call it good. Because that series, was all right. But the Mekarashi thing, like, it's a game I play every day, and some people watch it, some people don't. It always seems it jumps in views after I stop, and I don't know if that's just because that's the latest video I had on the channel or whatever. But it's also a very clunky game. It's very difficult now to progress in that, and so yeah, that's going to be I think, transferred to a very irregular series, much like my Uncharted Waters series. Speaking of which, I'm doing it again. There's going to be just a few episodes for the new Christmas stuff. One should be tomorrow, in fact, after this video goes up. I personally would like to go back to Sailing Era. I left that months ago just because I didn't know how to progress, but I found a walkthrough for it, and so I could actually finish the game. But, I always feel guilty about leaving dangling series, but it's been so long now, I don't think anyone cares. And again, if maybe I feel like it, I can always just pick it up some other time. But that was back in March. It's almost been a year since I played that game, so maybe it's not worth going back. Like I said, I think this channel needs to just kind of focus more on the city builder stuff that people will actually watch. And then maybe a better thing for me is that if there is a game that I want to play and it's going to be short, not an open-ended, gotcha game that could be however long, maybe I'll just record it all at once and then upload that as a series. But speaking of variety, because this channel has become so pigeonholed, and over the years I have tried to put other interests into it with minimal success. I think I just do need to mono-focus this channel, and then I had plans to start a new channel for some of the more varied content that I wanted to do. And I know, it's like you can barely keep up the main channel, and I've already got an abandoned second channel. Do I really need another one? But yes, I have plans. I have plans for that one. Mostly because I am getting old. I'm going to be 42 this year, this coming year, and I hate where I'm at. I absolutely hate where I'm at, and I do actually now have a job that was supposed to be everything I wanted. Just everything I wanted. It was finally a graphic design job, finally able to use, after all these years, able to use my degree and my education, my skills and training. And best part of it was that it's part-time, and the pay was such that part-time was the same as a full-time job that I was working. So pretty good, except that it didn't pan out that way because the promised hours have not been as steady or as much as was promised to me. So my dreams that I could just do the part-time job and then in the other part-time work on my other projects is just it's not a thing. It's not going to happen. So I need to shit or get off the pot at this point, and I think that I kind of want to go full force into these other projects. I do want to make games again, and just have all these projects going on. Like I talked about, like the history channel and all that stuff. Because do I think it's going to be any more successful than this one has been, or my game making channel, which I would like to revive as part of the making games again? No, no, I don't, honestly. But my plan has always been, or my thought has always been, that having one small thing over here and one small thing over here and one small thing over here is that they would add up together. Because unless I get lucky and win the lottery, I don't think there's just going to be one big success coming my way ever. And I'm just at that point in my life where it's like you either do this or just get a regular shitty job and hate my life every goddamn day I have to get up. And I got really tired of that. I got really tired of that. I got really tired of waking up, being angry, going to work, being angry all day, coming home angry, and just being exhausted, and then looking back and being like, holy shit, it's been 11 years since I've lived here. 12. It's been 12 years. It's been 12 years since I moved here. And just wondering what the fuck has happened. So yeah, like I think, like I said, I'm not really getting rid of this channel at all. And my break from it isn't going to be like the months long hiatus it's been in the past. But I think that the regular daily Let's Play content is probably at an end. And for a Let's Play channel like mine, it's probably time. Most people have moved on to streaming now anyway. There's a reason I think that people don't do Let's Plays anymore. But like I just don't have time to do all these things that I want at the same time, and I am an old man now, and I don't have the energy for it either. So I need to kind of just focus on one thing at a time. So yeah, coming into the new year, there's probably not going to be too much difference, I guess, from your perspective on this channel. But I will, going forward, just kind of make announcements for whatever projects I'm coming up on, and yeah, it's just that's how it is. Um, as far as what's going to be next on the channel, like I said, maybe the Anno Pax Romana. I haven't really seen much about it. I have just kind of not really been interested. And I don't even know if it's where it needs to be. If it's anything like Anno 1800, it's going to have a million DLC. So just like, do I even want to jump into that? City Skylines 2, I don't think anyone has been enthusiastic about it. I haven't seen any real content about that game, so I don't even know if it's worth my time to look at it. And apparently they switched developers. Paradox swapped developers, which doesn't sound great to me if it's doing that poorly. There are other games, though, series that I've not tried, like the City State series, for example. Apparently there's a new one being developed, coming out. And I guess the difference with that is that it's city building, but also has like a political simulator attached to it. And there's a couple other ones, City State 1 and 2. I bought one several months ago. I guess it was probably during the summer sale, actually. It was like 89 cents or something. I thought, whatever. So maybe I'll do that. But again, all these games are games that I have not played. So I'd either have to learn about them or play them blind. And frankly, it's when I play them blind that the series doesn't seem to do too well. So again, it's got to be finding time to sit down and play for a day just to see kind of what it's like. And I always keep getting other games too, like indie games that get sent to me. So rather than doing those as a full series, I might just do a bunch of Let's Quickly plays to knock those out. I don't even think that they're worth doing like a six-pack series on necessarily. But years and years ago, the way I used to do this channel was that I would just record and record and record, and I would have a buffer of like 2 weeks worth of episodes just in the tank. And ultimately, it allowed me to like finish a series and then start up a new one that by the time the first series got done, I would have, I'd be ready to go. And so, like, honestly, that's the only way I could see myself keeping this up again is just to kind of either do that or just go back to the upload whenever schedule. And there are channels that do that, a lot of old ones like me, but I think they also do streaming content now. But I need a change. I've got to have something different, and especially, before, like I said, I have not made a living off this channel. It's always been a hobby for me, but I've become more and more reliant thanks to my job, quotes job, because sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Um, I've been relying on it a little bit more now to kind of fill in the gaps, and going into middle age, that's no way to live. I can't be gap filling anymore. I just need like job. I need a steady stream now. I need to be doing something, and having gone through labor jobs and just shitty everyday jobs, I'm not ready to give my soul back yet. That's It's a miserable way to live, and being a bachelor with nothing going on except playing video games all day, I have to go back into creative mode and be doing something fun and fulfilling. And if that doesn't work, I don't know. Maybe I'll just walk into the ocean or something. But yeah, so just I guess all I gotta say is just expect some sporadic uploading for the rest of the year as I sort of get my shit together and get ready for the push into next year, because I would like to just kind of have a chunk ready to go and not be trying to catch up on myself every day, because I can't do that anymore. So with that, I'll end this one here. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your holidays, and I will see you next time.